Hello my friends, and welcome back to another quilt along. In today's Sewcialite quilt along, we are doing block 29, the Delight block, designed by Barbara Groves and Mary Jacobson. And I'm doing the 6-inch block. You will need, in the background fabric, one 3.5-inch square. I've labeled this A, and 3 2.5-inch squares, and I've labeled it B. In your printed fabric, you will need, labeled C, one 3.5-inch square, 3 2.5-inch squares, labeled D, and E, you need two 2-inch by 3.5-inch rectangles, and F, you'll need two 2-inch squares. So I hope everyone is doing well today. It's sunny, it's beautiful out, it's fall, it's crisp. So excited to get this block done with you. And if you want to join me, go to fatquartershop.com and you can download the PDF there. It's there for free. Join along with me. It'll be so much fun. Okay, I'm just going to move these aside and we will get to assembling units for the block. First thing you are going to need is your fabrics B and D, the background fabric B and D, and here I have B and D. So B and D, and on your background fabric you are going to draw 2 lines from the center, 1/4 inch away from the center. I have this handy dandy ruler, but you can easily take any ruler you have and use 1/4 inch. I usually will then draw a line down the center, and then from there 1/4 inch from that side, and then flip it over and 1/4 inch from there. And what you'll do, put these right sides together just like that, and you're gonna sew down each of these lines, and then you're gonna cut in the center 1/4 inch seam, so you get 6 half square triangles just like this. The next step, you will need A in the background fabric and C in the printed fabric, whatever color you choose to pick. I'm just taking from my scrappy stash, so this is my way of trying to get rid of some of the scraps that I have, and I have a lot of scraps. And you're gonna draw a line down the exact center of this square just like this. Take a ruler, draw your line, and then what you're gonna do is sew along that line, and then take your ruler. Once you've done sewing along that line, 1/4 inch seam like this, I line it up, and then cut along the edge there, and that will be a large half square triangle unit that we will need. When we get this done, I'll show you what we need to do next. I have sewn together my 6 half square triangles and my 1 large half square triangle. Now I'm going to lay out 2 of the half square triangles and 1 of your F pieces, and this is going to be the top unit of the block. I am going to lay my F piece here, and then, hope I do this right, like that. Make sure your half square triangles are 2-inch squares. Mine are a little bit big, so I'm just gonna cut them down so that they're the same size as F. And what you will do is you will take F and sew a 1/4 inch seam from here, iron this open, and then with your other half square triangle on the other end, sew 1/4 inch seam and iron it open, and you will have made your top unit, and you only need 1. After that, you will take your large half square triangle and 2 more of your smaller half square triangles, and you are going to this. And again, I need to cut these down. First thing you're gonna do is sew these 2 together and iron them open. Once that's done and these are together, you are then going to sew it to the large half square triangle. And this is the center unit. I will show you what it looks like As you see here, I have my top unit done. The center unit, I have sewn these 2 half square triangles together, and now I'm just showing you that I am going to place it on this side of your large half square triangle and sew a 1/4 inch seam. I have finished the center unit right here. Now you are going to take one of your rectangles labeled E and one of your half square triangles, and you are going to place it like this, and you are going to put them right sides together and sew 1/4 inch seam, and you're only going to make 1 unit. The next unit is your bottom unit, and you are going to take one of your rectangles labeled E and one of your half square triangles and place them like this, and you will then put your half square triangle right sides together and sew 1/4 inch seam, and you only need to make 1 of these, and then I will show you what you need to do for the side unit. Here is the finished bottom unit, and the last unit we are doing is the side unit, and you are of course going to have 1 piece of E and a half square triangle and F, just like that. So we will do what we always do, right sides together, 1/4 inch seam, iron it open, and then right sides together, 1/4 inch seam, iron it open. And when this is done, this is your last unit you'll need to do, and then I will show you how to lay out the block. The next step you're going to do is you're going to take your centerpiece and your top and your bottom units, and you are going to sew them like this. So you're just going to place them right sides together, iron them open like this, and once you've done that and ironed this open, then you will put on your side unit, and I'll show you what this looks like, and then we'll put on the side unit. Now that you've had this unit sewn together, you're going to take your last unit, which is your side unit, and place it on this side and right sides together if you want. Pin at the seams, and don't forget your points. Try and get the needle as close as possible, and sew 1/4 inch seam, and when I return I will have the finished block, and it's the Delight block. And here is the finished Delight block. This is block number 29, designed by Barbara Groves and Mary Jacobson. And you can find this at fatquartershop.com. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. This was such a delight. I actually loved it. It looks so intricate, this block, and it was so easy. This is a really good beginner-friendly block, and if you try this, you definitely have to let me know how you got along in making this, and your friends will think you are a magician. I'm telling you, this is like awesome. Okay, so next week we are doing block 30, the gratitude block, designed by Camille Ross Kelly. And as you know, there are 3 different sizes. I am doing the 6-inch block, but you can do whatever size block you want. For my 6-inch block that I'm doing, I will require 8 pieces in the background fabric cut to 2.5-inch squares, and in the printed fabric I will need 1 2.5-inch square and 16 1.5-inch squares, and this is considered an intermediate block. I think it has to do with these diamond units here. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I know I had a wonderful time, and I hope to see you next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't, and don't forget to hit the notification bell as well so you can come and join along with me. Thank you so much, and I will see you next week. Have a wonderful quilt day. Bye.